like have a job before, but I did want one, but I was like, I'm scared because everyone's gonna give me like change, and everyone's gonna like, I don't know, like social anxiety is a huge part of like starting something new for people. And especially like a youth that maybe needs disability accommodation, it can be even more like scary because you're afraid that even at your best, you'll be less productive than the others. Well, that's not entirely true. Um, like YTF, it was really like you were really like welcome, and you were like well received. People really cared about what you had to say, and it wasn't oh you're disabled. Like it didn't matter. They were just like you're upset or how can we fix this? And they helped me and some other people I know like learn like confidence. Like we used to do like everybody let's like do a question thing and we all like kind of like I'm doing now but as like practice. And it was really awkward at first and no one wanted to do it. But now we're doing it and it's fine. And currently I am employed at a pet store and I'm very happy there. Just like I do a lot of like cash and stuff and like making sure when you like scan the barcode to do like the pricing, you you like you don't add tax because the machine already adds tax. One time I did a whole bin of dog treats and I did it with tax and I had to redo it all again. Like you just do like let's just say I'd like sweep and I'd mop, make sure the freezers are clean, cut where the raw food is. I clean the dog wash. Sometimes people bring their dogs in for like winter coats and they're like, I don't know what size my dog is. And then I say, oh, I could try it on your dog if you want. And depending on the dog is if it's friendly, I do most of the time get to put it on. For me, like barriers that would be
Like
hard for me to overcome.
prevent you from keeping like a job that you wanted if you experience that.
Prevent me from keeping a job that I wanted. I don't know. I was afraid like as like a neurodivergent individual, sometimes things are really like fast paced, and I'm not the best at math, and I'd be afraid like everybody would be coming up with the cash constantly and giving me like quarters or something, and it would like you guys can laugh, it's fine, but this was like a crippling thing for me. I was like, they're gonna give me quarters, and I'm gonna have to count them, and the lady's gonna be like, oh, like you're taking up all my time, but it wasn't too bad. Have I learned to count them quicker and better? Yes. Does it still make me disgusted when someone passes me quarters? Yeah, because I'm like, if it's not exact change, it's gonna be like I have like a learning disability, and I have it a little bit in reading, but especially in numbers. Like up to a certain amount of digits, like I just like forget. And this was one of the biggest workplace struggles for me. Because the customer comes in, I go, do you have a phone number with us? Or you say, can I have your phone number, please? And then you ring them in, and some people would say it so fast to me. I get half of it done, and I've had to ask again, and they would say it fast again. And I get like a couple extra numbers in there, and I'd be like, I need you to please do it slower. And I like apologize for the inconvenience. I felt so bad. Because because phone numbers are long. And with my like disability, like after a certain amount of digits, I was like 722 or 720. Like what are you saying to me right now? Because like I don't know what to be at. I just asked to like not be alone on cash for like the first little bit, because when somebody like passes you like a large bill and you're like, I gotta do like the change, you're like counting. You can't like start counting with your fingers or whatever because it's not like socially acceptable. So like one of my coworkers would just be like, look at me, and I'd look at her and she'd be like, no, it's fine, it's fine. Like give me the bill, and I'd be like, thanks. Because like you're trying to move along, and when someone passes me $100 bill for like a $5 item, and I gotta like start, I don't know. It was just kind of difficult and like stressful Like, I appreciate my job and everybody that comes to my work. Just personally, I have my own struggles. Like, told my manager, I was like, hey, like, need to tell you this. And it's not that I don't want to work here. And it's not that I don't want to participate. But I just need a little extra help because it is something that, like, actually affects me in my everyday life. And a feeling of shame came with that. Because, like, I don't know. Because, like, when everyone's, like, neurotypical and you have to ask for extra help. I'm not saying neurotypical people are bad, but this is an example, like, I've faced. They're like, you're just lazy. I'm not lazy. It's just that everyone keeps giving me a bunch of numbers at one time, and I'm trying real hard. And when you see, like, I like, have a lot of people come into my store, and you have to ask every single one of them for a phone number. It was, like, pretty hard at first, but I've had, like, my coworkers, I'd be like, so, like, 772, and they'd be like, no, Maryann, he said 775. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And I'd, like, put it in. I appreciated them helping me in the subtle ways. They didn't have to, but I did appreciate it. I do believe all my accommodations were met. I didn't ask for anything super hard to do, I don't think, but I did appreciate the, like, understanding. And one of my coworkers opened up to me. She's like, "Oh yeah, Maryann, I'm, like, dyslexic." She's like, "It's all good." She's like, you don't have to feel bad about it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, I appreciate you sharing that with me. Like, I don't know. I guess because it was awkward to ask for the accommodations, and she noticed I was anxious to ask for the help. So she was like, hey, like, me too. And I was like, all right, that's better. Like, than being alone. At least, like, somebody gets it. I don't know if I would have, like, the pressure of, like, the first, like, couple weeks of working was really hard. So if they were just like, you can do all the cash stuff all by yourself, like, do all the numbers by yourself, I don't think I, like, could have done that. Like, the little bit of help I got was good enough to make me feel confident enough to try to do it by myself. So now I do it mostly by myself until somebody is paying for, like, 3 bags of dog food and they hand me, like, 300 something dollars, and I'm, like, counting it out slow, and because, like, I want to make sure it's right, because then they're going to be like, why is the cash short? And I don't want that to be my fault. And my coworker's like, Maryann, come here, like, just give me the monies. And I'm like, all right, okay, thank you. Because I'm stressed out because the guy's looking at me and I'm taking an awfully long time, and I'm like, no. It's okay to ask for help. Like, I know, like, I felt ashamed because I don't know why. It just felt weird and out of my comfort zone to ask someone to help me like that. I don't know. Like, I find disability comes with, like, a lot of shame, if that makes sense. Because you're told, like, you're lazy or you're not trying enough. But generally, you're giving them all you can. And I really appreciate it when other people recognize my struggle as valid, because it is. But when people, like, invalidate your disability all the time, you're like, well, maybe I am just lazy or stupid, or, but, like, you're not. Like, people just, if there was less stigma around the word disabled, because it doesn't mean you're less than other people. Like, you probably just have, like, problems doing, like, certain things. Like, some people are, like, dyslexic with, like, reading, and they can do all the math in the world, like, just perfectly. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone has different strengths. I'm not sure what else to say, but, like, it's pretty good.